the Imperial state crown. Anyone who's been to the Jewel House at the Tower of London will know there are several crowns to be seen there, but only two of them are actually used. The St. Edward's crown and this one, known as the Imperial state crown. It's normally kept at the Tower, but I have it here at Buckingham Palace because I wore it this morning at the state opening of Parliament. The crown as you see it now was made for Queen Victoria in 1838, but many of the individual stones have a much longer history. The oldest is probably this sapphire, which is said to have been worn as a ring by Edward the Confessor nearly 1,000 years ago. The pearls are said to have belonged to the first Queen Elizabeth. The story goes that this strangely shaped ruby was given to the Black Prince after a battle in Spain in 1367. I always like to think of it being worn by Henry V during the Battle of Agincourt. It's difficult to be absolutely certain about some of the other stones, because after the execution of Charles I, Cromwell had the crown jewels broken up and sold. The Black Prince's ruby, for instance, was sold for £4, but it was returned to the crown after the restoration of Charles II. Most of the bigger stones have had adventures. According to tradition, this huge sapphire at the back was carried off in his pocket by James II as he went into exile in 1688. It was over 130 years before it was restored to the crown. This great diamond is a more recent addition. The first star of Africa is even bigger and is in the scepter. Both of them are parts of an immense diamond which was found quite by chance by the manager of a mine in South Africa in 1905. Apparently, he just dug it out of the rock face with his walking stick. This is a model which shows you what it looked like. The whole Cullinan diamond, as it came to be known, was given to my great-grandfather, King Edward VII, on his birthday. The Dutch jeweller, who had to split it before it could be polished, was so overcome by the responsibility that he fainted as he struck the blow. But he did it perfectly. There are two smaller pieces, which my grandmother always referred to as the chips. This crown is worn at openings of Parliament and after a coronation. The other one, the St. Edward's crown, is only worn once, at the moment of crowning.
When I saw this little video about her talking about the crown, that's all I was really interested in, is just understand, you know, this is her saying where they, well, in fact she changes the story, doesn't she? But then the moment I started looking at it, I started to see things that I knew I just had to do. So she has blue eyes, but in this footage she doesn't. She has kind of brown or black eyes. So what's that when it's at home? How she blinks. How she blinks. Most bizarre. But then, what you're looking at is something that's not real. What we thought was new technology obviously wasn't. It was happening back then. But it can't be true. How old would you say she is? In her 40s? 50s? So what's that? The 60s? 70s? it was happening before then. All the stuff that we were seeing today was happening then. The same. It doesn't even look like her. One eye is bigger than the other. That always seems to happen in this CGI thing. Those eyelashes, even her eyelid is superimposed in. I mean, does that really look like her? Does that really? Just there? Is that the other one? Because it's, you know, it's when they, two people are put together and it's then a copy. It's what this one is. So there's her superimposed and then they're able, and it's really the mouth that's going, and then the mouth. We have fake blinks and her mouth moving, that's it. So they're doing the fake blinks, and that's CGI'd in with them, deep faked. So we have the fake eyebrow, you know, eyelids, and the extra one added, and then the only thing that's other than that is moving is the mouth added. I never thought she was really gonna look darker skinned, to be honest. But she does there, or he does. Because there's definitely somebody else there and they kind of look more manly. The deep faked one.
Given to my great-grandfather, King Edward VII, on his birthday. Dutch jeweller, who had to split it before it could be polished, was so overcome by the responsibility that he fainted as he struck the blow. But he did it perfectly. There are two smaller pieces, which my grandmother always referred to as the chips.
I mean, very quickly I was thinking, oh, it looks like Mrs. Thatcher. Just there, but the mouth is the deep fake. So it's a cartoon with a deep fake mouth. Maybe it's her talking. It's that fake eyelid. Fake eyelid. She's morphing with the background, which is impossible. So she's added to the footage as well. Yes. Anyway, we're coming to the end of this bit. So yeah. So they were able, this is the 60s, 70s, and they were doing this then. And they were obviously doing it before then. That background move with her, look, her hair. Wibble, wibble, wobble. Anyway, thanks for watching.